Hello and welcome. In this video I will show you how you can use ChatGPT to implement 7 basic quality tools. By the way, I have made other videos about application of ChatGPT in quality management, Lean Six Sigma and process improvement. I have created a playlist of those videos, the link to which is given in the description box. Coming back to today's video, as I said earlier, I will show you how you can use ChatGPT for application of 7 basic tools, 7 basic quality tools. But before that, let's recap what those tools are. So I asked ChatGPT what these 7 basic tools of quality are, and it told me that 7 basic tools of quality are simple but powerful tools widely used in quality management to analyze and solve quality related issues. They are fundamental to the practice of total quality management or TQM and are useful for anyone involved in quality improvement effort. Then it goes on to list down the 7 tools. Those are cause and effect diagram, also called Ishikawa or fishbone diagram, Checksheet, control chart, histogram, Pareto chart, scatter diagram, and flowchart or process map. It has also provided brief descriptions of those tools. But we are not going into the details of what these tools are because one, I am supposing you are already familiar with these tools if you are watching the video. Two, it will become in a way apparent when I show you how you can use ChatGPT for application of these tools, that what these tools are. So you can see that some of these tools are statistical in nature. So I have created a synthetic data set, which is a nicer way of saying that it is a fake data set. It is not a real data set. I have created this just for the purpose of demonstration. So what I am going to do is that I am going to upload this to ChatGPT and ask it to apply those tools. For the purpose of demonstration, to save time, I have already uploaded that data set and created and applied those tools. I'll just show you in this video. So what I did here is that I uploaded this data set which I have created and asked it to read this data, what it is. You can use this button here to upload any data set. So it tells me that the provided data set appears to be a record of customer complaints, including various details about each complaint. Here is a breakdown of the columns in the data set. So these are the columns present in the data set. One, date, then complaint ID, complaint type, that is the category or type of the complaint, for example late delivery, miscommunication, refund issue, product defect, etc. Then there is severity level, which can be high, medium or low. Then there is response time in hours, the time taken to respond to complaint measured in hours, and resolution time, the time taken to resolve complaint, again measured in hours. Then there is customer ID, then there is region, geographic region, for example west, north, etc. And then there is customer rating. The rating given by customer, possibly after the resolution of the complaint, on a scale. Yes, it is the rating provided by the customer after the resolution of the complaint, which shows how satisfied or dissatisfied a customer was. Okay. So the first tool we are going to apply is a histogram. You can create a histogram for a quantitative variable. There are many variables in this data set. We are going to create a histogram of response time. So I just asked ChatGPT to create a histogram of response time and interpret it. So what it did, that it created a histogram. So you can see you don't need to do anything other than just telling ChatGPT to create a histogram, and it will create a histogram for you. Okay, but the creation of histogram is one thing which it has created, but what is the interpretation? What does this histogram tell us? So it has also provided the interpretation, although you should be able to interpret the histogram yourself, but ChatGPT can also help you. So what does it tell us? That it tells us its distribution shape. The histogram appears to be somewhat right skewed with a higher frequency of shorter response time and a tail extending toward longer response time. It is not perfectly skewed, but it is somewhat right skewed, meaning that the most of the complaints are resolved in relatively shorter period of time, which is a good thing from our point of view. Okay, the majority of response time are concentrated between approximately 3 to 6 hours. Okay, again you can see that the majority of the response time are approximately 3 to 6 hours, which again is not a bad thing. Outlier and spread, there are fewer instances of longer response times, with some extending beyond 7 hours. This suggests that while a typical response time is relatively quick, there are occasional delays that result in longer response time. This is what we need to look into and try to control, because this is not a good thing from our point of view. Then there are frequency. The peak of frequency response time is in the 4 to 5 hour range. Okay, so you can see in 4 to 5 hour range is, no, actually there is a higher frequency, a peak in around 2 hours, but 4 to 5, both are these both of these are peaks. Okay, so you can see that with ChatGPT you can easily create a histogram and interpret it, which will tell you what your process is like, how spread out it is, and what are the possible issues. So as we can see here, that although most of our complaints are responded to in a relatively shorter time, but some complaints are not, and the response time goes up to 10 hours, which is really a long time. So we should look into that and try to reduce its spread and create a standard. Okay, so next up, I asked it what should we do in the light of this histogram. So it tells us to identify and address causes of delays, as we just said, streamline the response process, set target response time, and prioritize high severity complaints, which we will look into later. Monitor and report customer feedback, resource allocation, etc. So you can see that ChatGPT can help you create a histogram very quickly with just one prompt or in natural language. It can help you interpret, and it can help you come up with a plan what to do after you have interpreted the histogram. Okay, next I am going to apply ChatGPT for creation and interpretation of a scatter diagram. Again, I am not going to explain what a scatter diagram is in detail, I will just show you what it is like and you will get an idea. So, scatter plot can be created for two continuous variables. So, I asked ChatGPT to create a scatter plot of resolution time and customer rating and interpret it. So, it very quickly created this scatter plot here. So, as you can see, there is a clear negative trend which shows that if the resolution time, which is on the x-axis, as you can see here, increases, the customer rating decreases, which is on the y-axis. So, there is an indirect or negative relationship between these two variables. If one increases, the second decreases. Okay. So, it is kind of obvious from this scatter plot that if the resolution time increases, the customer are going to be less happy. So, in the light of this scatter diagram, we should be targeting to reduce our resolution time. Okay, fine. Then there are interpretations which has provided. It has also provided recommendations, etc., etc. Then third. Now we are going to apply the third tool, which is a Pareto chart of complaint types. So I just asked ChatGPT to create a Pareto chart of complaint types, and it gave me this chart. It didn't take more than maybe 5 seconds to create this. Okay. A Pareto chart is a combo chart which has both the bar chart and a line chart. The bar chart, the bars of the bar chart show the frequency of individual complaints, and this line chart shows the cumulative frequency or cumulative percentage of these categories. So as you can see, the most frequently occurring complaint is late delivery, followed by product defect, followed by customer service issues, and then billing issues. And as you can see, together these four contribute to make up the 80% of total complaints. So that is the advantage of creating a Pareto chart, that it helps you identify the most influential, the most frequently occurring complaints or issues. So we can see that these first two combined account for about 55% of the complaints, and if we add the next two categories, these are 80% of the total complaints. You can see that we have about 10 complaint types here, but these four are the most frequently occurring. So we should be targeting these for elimination. If we eliminate these type of complaints, we will have reduced our total complaints by 80%. Okay. So ChatGPT also provides interpretation for this, that it is the Pareto chart. It is called Pareto chart after Wilfredo Pareto, who gave us the 80-20 rules, who said that 80% of the problems are caused by 20% of the issues. Okay, now we are going to apply the fourth tool, which is a control chart. Okay, so the control chart is also a control chart. There are various types of control charts. But I don't even need to tell ChatGPT to create which type of control chart. I will tell it about the variables, the variable, and it will select and create a suitable control chart. I am not going into the details of what a control chart is, but as you can see here, we have a middle center line, which is actually the mean. Okay, and then we have an upper line, upper control limit, which is also referred to as UCL, and a lower control limit. So this helps you identify if your process is in control or not. In control means that there are only naturally occurring variations in your process. But out of control means that there are not only natural variations, but some unnatural variations, in the sense that those are not the variation which are caused by the nature, but these variations are being caused by some external factor or special cause, which needs to be identified and eliminated to bring the process in control. Okay, there are various rules for identifying if the process is in control or not. So the resolution time data mean represented, it is interpreting it. In control process, if the most of the resolution fall within the control limits, the process is considered to be in control. If all the points fall between lower and upper control limits, the process is considered to be in control. Okay, and if one or more of the point, if any points that fall outside the control limit indicate potential issue or outliers. These points suggest that the resolution time for these complaints are unusually high, but this is not the specific interpretation. Okay. So I asked it, is this process in control? And it said to determine if the process is in control, we need to examine the control chart for any signs of instability. Here are some specific things to look for. Point outside the control limit, runs, trends, cycles, or hugging the center line or control limits. Then it ran some code to check these conditions, and then it told me that there are no points outside the upper control limit or lower control limit, indicating no outlier that would immediately suggest the process is out of control. Okay, so we are good there. About the run, it told me that the maximum length of consecutive point above the mean is 259. And the maximum length of consecutive point below the mean is 241. It didn't seem right to me, because if you see the control chart, again, these are not consecutively above or below the mean line, because these are randomly spread across the on the both sides of the mean. Okay. So this was surprising for me, and this should also tell you that ChatGPT can make mistakes. So I asked it again, I don't think there is a run of 259 above the mean. Look again. Then it looked again, and it told me that max run above mean is 10 consecutive point above the mean, and max run below mean is 6 consecutive point. Conclusion: the run of consecutive points above the mean does exceed the threshold of 7, indicating a potential shift in the process. So it tells me a rule of thumb is that there should be no more than 6 consecutive points on either side of the line, mean line or central line. So there are, as we can see, at least 10 points which are consecutively above the center line, which tells us that this process went out of control at that moment, about that time. So that is the purpose of the control chart. It helps us identify if the process is in control, but you should keep in mind it does not tell you due to what special cause the process went out of control. It just tells you that there is some special cause interfering with the process which you should identify and address. Okay. After control chart, we want to apply another tool, which is cause and effect diagram. So the most frequently occurring issue or complaint in our data set was late delivery. So I want to create a fishbone diagram which basically lists all the possible causes of a problem. So I asked ChatGPT, I want to create a cause and effect diagram for late delivery, list down possible causes under suitable categories. So it came up with these categories and causes: manpower method, machine, material, environment, measurement, management, and customers. Okay. Usually we can organize causes under 6 M's, which is man, method, material, etc. But it has created a it has come up with slightly different categories: manpower, method, machine. Under manpower, it has listed insufficient staff, so not enough delivery personnel to handle the volume of order. That could be one cause of the late deliveries. Inadequate training, employee absenteeism, low morale, etc. Okay. Fine. Inefficiencies, inefficient routing, lack of standard procedures, manual processes, delivery scheduling issues. And then machines, under machine, vehicle breakdown, inadequate maintenance, poor vehicle. Similarly, under materials, it has listed other causes. Under environment, some more causes. Under management and under measurement, management, and customer, even more causes. And that it has come up with a sort of funny looking fishbone diagram. This is of not much use to us, but these categories and causes are of course important for us. Okay. So it is again, the ChatGPT does not know your full context, but it can help you quickly come up with some ideas and help you with brainstorming. So the causes it will list are not going to be necessarily the right causes in your context, but they provide you a very good starting point. Okay, so I asked it to use a mermaid chart to show the diagram. The diagram it created is very basic, so I wanted a mermaid diagram, which is a better diagram than this. I asked it to give me a mermaid diagram, but it simply gave me a code for creating the mermaid diagram. You can copy this code and paste into some mermaid editor, which will render it into a diagram. Okay. Next, I went for creation of process flow for delivery. So I want to create a process flow diagram for delivery process, because that is where the most of the issues are being encountered. So it straight away gave me a mermaid code for creating a flow chart, and it also explained the steps in the process flow. You can again look at these steps and see if they are correct in your context. Again, these are not going to be necessarily accurate steps in your context, but they can help you easily start. Okay. But this time I didn't want just a code or a basic diagram, so I asked it to show this flow chart. And to show this flow chart, I tagged a GPT custom GPT, which is Mermaid Chart. You can always call a ChatGPT by using @ sign. So shift 2, if you press this @ button, you can call a GPT. So for example, I called this mermaid chart diagrams and asked it to show the diagram, and look what it did. It actually gave me a better diagram using mermaid code. Okay, so you can see what this looks like. Okay, you can copy this code, open the image, or save the image, download copy image, and then paste it somewhere. Or if you want to edit this, you can go to mermaid editor and make changes as you want. And now finally, Checksheet. Actually, you don't need a ChatGPT to create a Checksheet, but it can be handy in creating a Checksheet again, as it can suggest what to include in it. For example, one of the potential problem we identified for the potential cause for late delivery was low employee morale. So now I am going to ask it, I want to collect employee feedback to assess their morale. Give me a Checksheet. So let's see what it does. Okay, so you see it has given us this Checksheet: employee ID, job satisfaction, work-life balance, recognition, etc., etc. So it has given me this Checksheet, and it has again given me instructions to use: date, employer type, job satisfaction, blah blah blah, and it has given me an example Checksheet also. But I want this in a CSV file, a downloadable CSV file. So I will just ask it, give me a downloadable CSV of this Checksheet. Let's see. It is analyzing. By analyzing, it means that it is writing and executing a code for creating and giving us a downloadable CSV. You can copy the above text, open text editor. No, that's not what I want. So I can ask now, give me downloadable CSV here. I don't want to go through the trouble of copying and pasting that code, so I'll just ask it to give me the CSV here. Let's see if it does so. It seems that I am unable to see directly at the moment. Okay, normally it is able to do this, but you can simply copy this code, which is, and paste it in some text editor, and because it is also giving you the instructions as it did in the previous response. Open a text editor, for example a notepad, copy the above CSV content, paste it into the text editor, save the file with .csv extension, for example employee morale, checksheet.csv, etc. and the next time you open the file, it will be in a CSV format. Okay. Most of the times it will also be able to give you a downloadable CSV which you can directly use. So in this video we saw how you can use ChatGPT for application of 7 basic quality tools. ChatGPT makes the process very easy and saves you a lot of time. It can also improve the quality of your work by suggesting things which you might not be able to think on your own, and then it can create beautiful visualizations. It can, by the way, also change the colors etc. of the visualizations you create. For example, let me show you how you can give the histogram again. Let's say it appears that there is issue with generating histogram image, so it is probably encountering some issues right now, and one of the problems could be that I uploaded the file quite some time ago, and it the session might have expired. Okay, so let's try again. Upload from the computer. If the session expires, then you can re-upload the file. I am uploading that data set. From this data set, create a histogram for response time. Okay, and I hope it will be able to create it appears that there is an issue with generating histogram image directly here. Okay, apparently it is encountering some issues right now at the time of recording of this video, but when you try, if it is encountering such issues, you can try again after some time, and it will be able to create those visualizations for you. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you.